Welcome back to Classic Restoration. Today we're going to focus on the floor, as always. I'm hoping this time the camera will work with the helmet. When the camera's not on, the helmet seems to work fine. But I'm going to turn the phone around backward this time and see if that'll make the difference. Anyway, so we're going to work on the floor. We're going to get on this section right over here this time. I already did a lot of welding here. Hopefully you can see that. But I'm going to work on this section here and then work my way up there. Hopefully that you can see that. But anyway, so let's get to it. This welder, as I said, this is a, it's a welder, a MIG welder with the shielded core, and it does okay. My opinion is if you're a newbie and you're wanting to get into this, I would not buy these things from the big box stores. They just sell the little ones. They don't really sell any big ones. And then same thing with the helmets. With the big box stores, these helmets, like I had showed you before, they're the bottom of the line. They have batteries in them. I did a little research on the batteries. You cannot change the batteries on them. So you want to get something a little bit better quality, and you'll get one that's got a removable battery. There's some other adjustments you can make on this. Has very few adjustments you can make. So that's my recommendation. Try to do a little research on your welder before you buy one. Again, my opinion is to get one that's got the gas. I have not used it. I've just been watching videos and the guy's talking about it, and it seems like that works better when you have that argon gas. So anyway, but I'm not using it. I'm still using this one, and I'm gonna keep chugging away at it. You know, let's say this truck is not gonna be perfect. I'm just trying to make a daily driver. The floor is gonna be solid. I mean, I've got this thing welded, like right here. You can see I've got it welded pretty good across here. I've got few holes to fill, and here, but with that light in the way you can't see it. But I got some holes to fill there. I got some holes here, but I did a lot of that. Got a lot of that ground down. It looks pretty good. Like if I wanted to, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. I could probably put a little bit of putty over it, sand it from this side. You'd never know it because I got it ground down pretty good. I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far. I may. So this part here, it's rough. But I think once I grind that, I think it'll turn out pretty good. I got some holes I got to fill. I think I'm going to do that before I grind it. Like over here, I ground all this, and I hadn't got all these holes filled. Problem is you kind of make that metal kind of thin, and then you're going back and grinding again. So I think I'm going to try to cover all these spots. Let's clean up with a wire brush. I'm not going to do that tonight. Tonight, again, I'm going to focus on this section over here. Because what I want to do, I want to get all this done, all the way over to there. And then what I want to do is go over here and start welding on the bottom edge here, because I want to try to get this all welded up and ground down, and maybe you won't really notice too bad once I put some paint on it, that I just laid it on top of it. It's not cut and butt. That's what I'm hoping. But either way, look at it. It's super strong. This may even be a little stronger because it's laying on top and it's welded on both sides. I don't know. But anyway, so that's what we're going to focus on tonight. I'm going to try to set you in the cab so you can see what I'm doing. So let's just try to do that. And I want to turn you around. I want to try to turn the camera around so this way, see if it works better the other way. Now what I'm going to have to do, somehow there's a way you turn this thing around. Let me hit pause. Okay, I turned the video around, but as it did before, it cut off the video. So I'll have to try to get those two videos to go together. I'm hoping by turning it around this way that the helmet will still work. When I was reading up on it, they were saying something about the camera somehow coincides or somehow messes with the helmet. We're going to find that out. So we'll put you this way. Let me see if I can get you set up in here where you'll stay there and hopefully won't fall down. All those good things. Let's see here. And of course, at the same time, I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. And of course, when I do it, my helmet's probably going to be in the way of my big head. Well, I don't really have a big head, but. All right, so let's see if that'll hold you there okay. So I can put some of this behind the might help it to stay there. Don't know. All right. So let's give it a whirl and see what happens. Get my helmet. See, I'm back to using this one again. It was working fine without the camera. Wait a minute. I just noticed I took the front screen off of it, put it on the other one. What did I do with the other one? Ah, here it is. Now I see I got a few little burns on there. Right. Sorry about this. The law and the action. Alright, got it in there. Now let's see if this thing will work. So we're going to give it a try. Alright, here we go. Now this section here, I have welded some of this. I beat this close to it. This is the one that was really like cutting butt, and I realized I couldn't do it. I think I might have to do some more here. I'm not worried about that yet, but I'm going to try to get something there. Let's see what we got. I'm going to need to put that down a little bit. Like I was saying before, you got to keep this metal close together. It just doesn't work. Alright, let's try that. See if we can get a little bit of weld there. And then we can move on from that point. Alright, here it goes. Burn a hole. Wonderful. Another hole. Not too bad there, but yeah. Well, I'm going to have to try to get something in there. Got a little bit of it, and some of it's got another hole. Part of it's me, part of it's because of the fact that this welder. Let's see if I can get this flashlight here a little bit better position, maybe, or to give me a little bit better light. I don't know. I don't want to knock my camera over here. Let me double check and see where you are. Okay, you're still good there. Let's go back to it. Yeah. So like I say, this is butted together. It's not laid over top of it, so I'm kind of burning through the edges there. I'll figure something out later, but it is welded right there. Then I need to do right here. So let me see if I can get this spot. Of course, I got to get some light on it. All right, let's see if we can get that spot. See, what I got to do, I got to get that metal close to it. I'm not even sure if I can get that. It's a pretty big gap there, but I'm going to beat that down anyway. And that'll do the trick. A little bit better, but I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, I think I got it down too far that time. Okay. Well, that's the best I'm going to do there. I'm going to have to get a piece of metal in there to finish that up. I'm not going to get it with that. All right, well, let's move up a little bit farther. Let's see what we got here. See, I got a little gap under. You can't have a gap. So I've got to, first off, clean it. Get it clean. I don't know how other guys do it, but I do that. It seems to help it to weld. All right, let me see. I've got this, been watching different guys. I've been, this chisel don't know if you can see it. Let's see. So it's see, it's not pointy. It's rounded. Can you see that? It's rounded. Maybe I can get it down here. The end's rounded. It's not pointy. What's good about that is because if it's sharp, well, then it just wants to cut it and everything else. Here, if it's like this, it just seems to just push it down. Let me see what we got here. A little bit tighter there. Go that way a little bit. Feels pretty tight, right? About right there. All right, let's give it a whirl, get that little bit. This is probably pretty much the way I'm going to have to do the whole thing because of the type of welder that it is and my lack of experience, I'm not able to get the clean welds I'd like to get. So let's give it a whirl, see what happens there, and we'll go from there. Need some more light here. I gotta figure out another way to get some light in here. Nope, that's not gonna do it either. Alright, let's move this. Lighting, so important. Alright, let's try it. Still tight there, it looks like. Let's see if we can get a little more. Get that thing just on there just right. That one looks pretty good. Yeah, that one's not so good, but it's there. You got that little bit. And got it right there. Alright, not that much. That turned out not too bad. Now we got to move up higher. So you got to be careful of warping. But where this at, I don't really see getting any warping because it's kind of in a spot that's got a lot of strength right here. You know where you got to worry about when you get out in the center. See, that can warp up pretty good. And you know, if it's under the carpet, you might not notice it. But if it was out on a hood or fender, you'll see that. You know, because I got to do something anyways. I got to get this hooked or something. You can't leave it like that. All right, let me clean that. If I can find my drill, and we'll move up a little further. And this wire here, gotta get this out of my way. I don't even know what this thing is. Some kind of electronic thing, I'm not sure. All right, maybe this side will come unhooked. Let's see. All right, see if I can get some light over here. Oh, gotta take the helmet off now, I can't. How do you get that little bugger out of there? Okay. Hmm. You guys see where it comes apart. I can tell it comes apart, but I don't know where. It seems like a little finger thing there, but doesn't seem to do the trick. Well, maybe I can just get it up out of the way somehow. Oh, that's right. I have a little strap here. A little handy dandy strap there. See if I can get that on there and hold that up. All right, let's see. Let me get around here and see what I can hook it on up here. There we go. So I gotta get that stuff out of my way so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let's get this one up here. All right, one more wire. I don't know what that's for, something. Whatever it is, they took it out. It's some kind of relay or something went in there. I'll figure it out later what it is, because I bought the cab with all the wires like this. I was hoping to get the wires outside. They didn't give them to me, and I tried to call back, and they're like, nah, we already got rid of that. And yet I told them I wanted it right away. All right, so we got this little guy. Oh, look at that, see? All right, I'm hoping I don't have any problems with that. All right, let's see what we can do up there. What is this? Yep, I gotta bang that down. I need to have that really out of my way. So see, I can get my fingernail into there. Shouldn't be able to do that. A little better. Yep, that's good. Keep moving as I can go. Brought it back up here. May have to do it a little bit at a time. See, brought it back up there. For some reason it's, maybe it's bending the metal under it. A little bit better. See if I can try that here. Right there. You didn't get to like right there, but up there it's sticking up. What I might do, let me go around front here to see if I can hammer on it a little bit. That's one good thing about having it off the truck and having it sit up here on these blocks. I can get to the underneath of it. All right, now where are we at? Okay, so hit that. Let's see if we can get it to go down any better now. I'm not sure. This is called years of experience that I don't have. But when you do, then you know exactly what to do with this kind of stuff. I may have to, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a screw in there because I'm not really getting anywhere here. All right. Yep. All right. Let me see here. Nope. That battery won't work. I gotta get another battery. All right, got another battery. See if we can get that screw in there. Hold that down for me. Not right there, I guess, like right in the center. Right, maybe that's a used screw there. I found a new one. This one might be better. Yeah, that's better. There we go. I really don't like to do that because then it just adds another whole hole I gotta fill. I got them all over the place, some little holes. Okay, so that up there though, so what I'm gonna have to do, I'm not sure if this screw here is doing any good. I don't think it is. Yeah, that one is just stripped. Let me see if I can find another one, a good one. I bought another pack of screws, but I'm gonna use the rest of these up till they run out. All right, let's see. All right. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Now maybe, let me see if I can knock this down here, right there. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Well, let's give it a try and see what we come up with. Worst they can do is not work, right? The way I look at it. All right, let's see here. Okay. Here we go. Try it again. Hoping my helmet's not in your way. Can't see the video, so I don't know. You know what? I gotta get this thing facing that way a little bit. Uh-oh. I thought my ground fell off. Wasn't getting nowhere. That's something else too. When you buy these cheaper versions, they come with a terrible clamp. I'll show you this little clamp. It's as cheap as it comes, so it doesn't hold very much pressure. You can buy other ones and add to it, but I'm not going to spend the money on that. I'm going to wait until I get a welder instead of throwing good money after bad, you know. All right, let's see. Let me back this up a little bit because I got it out too far. All right, let's try this again. All right, now let's go up here and try a little bit up there. My helmet underneath this dash makes it kind of hard to work here. All right, keep going. Let's see, where's the side? Right there. Oops. Oh, it keeps pushing my helmet down farther, get up under the dash. All right, let me take the wire brush to that. We got, I didn't even see that. I burned up a nice little spot there. Yeah, what I figure I'll do is I'll just go ahead and weld all the way around this thing, and then I'll come back and fix all these bad spots here, because I don't want that to hold me up to get this floor in. I'd like to get this whole floor in, get it ground, and then, or well, maybe I don't get it ground, come back and fix those spots. All right, so that there seems to be good. I'm going to try to do some more up there if I can get it, my helmet reaching up in there. That's the tricky part. I hope I'm not getting my helmet in your way. I can't tell what I'm doing there. Can't see it, I'm so far back. Yeah, I'm starting to burn a hole there. Yeah, it's going to be harder to do up under this dash. I may have to do that not on camera so I can get right up in there. Yeah. Well, we got that much. Let's see if we go to the top here. Ouch, that hurt. I tell you something I did figure out about this. I did bump up the speed of the wire a little bit, and then I'm trying to move it down and push it in as I'm going. It feeds the wire a little bit better that way. All right, let's see what we got there. Not too bad, but also not so pretty either. But we're getting there. Yeah. I'm learning little by little. I remember when I first started, there was a guy on the video that said, you know, basically what somebody should do is just take a whole bunch of metal and just sit down all day and weld with a MIG welder to get used to it. And I think he's probably right. Because basically that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing that while I'm, you know, I'm filming it, while I'm talking to you. That's what I'm doing. I'm learning how to do it. Little by little bits and pieces I'm learning. All right, well, I got to go across here. I'd like to find some way to hold that. I don't know. See, there it would be in my way. I need something to hold it back there, but I don't know what I would use for that. But I do need to hold it back there. So I wonder, let me pop this guy off. Because this is, I'll get a new one of these anyway. It's got some miles. You can see on here, once you start seeing them like that, they start wearing on that corner, you're starting to head toward 100,000 miles or more. Just something to keep in mind. See, it's ripped, and so it's got a lot of miles on this truck, and I don't know how many miles because they took the speedometer and they didn't tell me how many miles on it, so I don't know how many miles. But I mean, the cab's not too bad shape, just a little bit here, but that does tell me it's got some miles on it. All right, let's see if we can shoot across here. But now, again, where are we? See, it's got a gap right there. I may have to put a screw right in there. Not that I want to, but that may be the best bet at this time. Uh-oh, knocked you down. All right, let's see what we do about getting you set back up here. Oh, my goodness. Hey. See? Gotta figure it out again. How to get you back in place here. You touch one thing and the whole thing goes down. There's so many shapes to this floor. All right, let's see. And of course, I would need to be under the steering wheel. All right, how about that? Well, that hold it. All right, let's see. I need to put something under there. Hold that. Let's see if this thing of screws will do it. And then I need something to hold it down so it don't fall. Let's try that. That might do the trick. All right, there we go. Now, I'm probably going to be in your way, though, watching the video. I'll do a little bit, and then we'll probably have to call it quits there, but I need to get that thing up there somehow. So I may have to hold it while I'm doing it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Well, first off, I got to get me a screw up there. That's all there is to it. All right, there's that. I have a hard enough time when the thing's up, when the floor is tight together, let alone if it wasn't tight together. There we go. That's a lot better, but I'm still got a little bit of a gap there, so I'm gonna have to take the helmet off. That's what I'm gonna have to do. And then get up in there like this spot here. You can probably see it's sticking up. Try it again. A little better. We got a gap right there, though. That's probably why the top one didn't do so good, because I had such a gap there. Maybe a little bit more. This is not bad over here, though. A little bit better. How about over there? Here. I guess I'll have to do this section and then come over here and bend that down. Need to get that more, but I got a spot of weld there. A little better. I don't know if that's going to be good enough, though. Hope my head wasn't in your way. All right, right, let's see if I can get a little bit up there. All right, gotta get my gloves on. Even with the gloves on, seems like that splatter still gets me. I go home at night, got holes in my pants, holes in my socks, holes in my shoes, holes in my arms. Oh, okay. Let's try it. See what we got here. I don't have good hand control right here. Yeah, it's not good. A little something anyway. A little bit something there. Right, well. Ay. Getting too close, it gets stuck. Did it again. All right, let's try a little bit over here again. I just can't seem to get. All right, well, I'm gonna call quits there because I can't. I have to get up in the truck to weld this thing, and because of that, again, I can't. I don't know if you can see my head or not. Because of that, I'd be right in the way of the camera, and right now at an angle like that, I'm doing worse than I normally do. So I'm gonna actually have to climb up in there, get right up in where I can work on it. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. You know, I'm trying my best. It's kind of hard, like when you're working in a confined space. I don't have a lot of space right here right now. And then I'm working on one project. I want to try to get my square body down here, do a little bit of something different, and then come back to this. Like to learn again more about how to do the programming on this thing, how to work the video on it. And I like to get an intro. Don't know how to do that either yet. Something I'll have to work on. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed what you did see. If you did, please like the video and subscribe if you would. I would appreciate that much. And if you have any thoughts, put them down bottom. Let me know, because I'm open to suggestions, because I'm doing the best I can. But as you can see by my welds, they're not all that good. But I'm learning, So if you have any thoughts that maybe will help me, that'd be fantastic if you would, put it down bottom. Anyway, that'll be the end of it. We'll catch you on the next one, and probably, unless I can get that other truck down here, next video probably on the floor as well. And I've got that top piece, so I made it. If I can get that by myself, without the camera, I might get the top piece done, and then I may go around to the front section, and I should be able to get the camera set up a little bit better there, because it's going to be right from the front. I'll have more room to put the camera, and try to work on that section right there. It goes under the cab. Once I get under the cab, I don't know. We'll just see. But anyway, so the next video, we're going to try to work on either this section of the floor or around front there. All right, well, you have a good evening, and we'll catch you on the next one.